Welcome again, dear viewer, to Baraton TV, Here and Hereafter. We have Professor Mutuku Mutinga, and we are looking at his scientific involvement in the work that he has done in his professional life. And Prof, we talked about this disease in Mount Elgon, Western Kenya, and this is what you did for your PhD. But you have done other things like in Kalaza, is that so?
That is correct.
Maybe you tell us something about Kalaza.
Well, after I had come from the United States,
Yes,
and put in charge of the disease control, especially
in the Ministry of Health,
in the Ministry of Health, which is charged with the control of vector-borne diseases. Almost everything I was doing was a research issue.
Yes.
Malaria was rampant. Bilharzia was rampant.
Sleeping
sickness and so forth. So I got involved in all this.
Yes.
I worked on control of bilharzia, for instance, and came up with ways where we can limit the spread of bilharzia, together with other scientists in that particular area. I worked on the sleeping sickness in Nyanza area, and we did some aerial spray to limit, because sleeping sickness actually only came from, it was brought into Eastern Africa by Stanley when he was looking for
when he was looking for David Livingstone.
Yes, he came into Uganda, and it only came into the area of Bitter Point area and the Lambwe Valley.
And so Bitter Point is where we have Isipe.
Isipe.
Yes.
I was actually involved in
and you worked in Isipe.
Yes.
You are a principal scientist in Isipe.
In Isipe.
Yeah.
So research was very exciting.
Yes.
And the good Lord reveals things, even in research.
Yes.
People wonder, how have you finding this one here? For instance, Mount Elgon situation. One scientist says, how do you find these things when we have been working here for 15 years? We have not found them.
It's the Lord.
It's the Lord revealing things.
Yes.
And depending on Him, because they are there. Actually, research means looking again.
Looking again.
Searching
You had looked the first time, but you're now looking again.
Or somebody has looked, but you want to relook to see whether it is so.
That's research.
So that was research. So I worked with those areas and so forth. For instance, in the malaria, I came up with a novel way of control of malaria.
Yes.
We were developing resistant malaria. Then in came the mosquito net. And while I was working on this prevention, I noticed in the rural areas, there are no place to even put mosquito net.
Yes.
So I said, now what do we do? Let's come with a technology which can control malaria in the rural area. So I devised a technology. I called it umbu cloth in 1990s.
Yes.
And this umbu cloth, excuse me, this umbu cloth meant, excuse me, we would work with a device which is similar to net.
Yes.
I did some research to find out where the mosquitoes would rest if they went inside a hut. Then I worked on the size of cloth which would kill all the mosquitoes which are infected, which come into the house.
Okay.
And I set this experiment in Baringo.
Okay.
And we put it on trial.
Yes.
And for more than 5 years, there was no malaria. We intervened the transmission of malaria in the Terekera irrigation scheme. This received such a great acclaim that I got a special award from it. It was recognized by UNICEF and WHO as a device for control of malaria.
Wow.
Kalaza, the same thing. It is transmitted by a small little insect. As a result of construction of the dam in Tana River, the people who were infected by the disease in Kitui came looking for job there. The sandflies are there, but the disease was not there.
Yes.
They brought the disease in that particular area. And the people from other areas of Makueni area in Wote were also there. So there was an outbreak of disease. Now we needed a technology to control it.
Yes.
We had already found where these flies are arresting.
Yes.
So I developed a trapping technology also.
To trap these sandflies.
And its name is Isipe Sticky Trap. And it controlled the
And
Kalaza.
the name is CIPE is from the organization.
From the organization.
What does
where I
the
was
CIPE
working.
stand for?
It stands for International Center of Insect Physiology and Ecology.
Wow.
And
How long did you work with the CIPE?
I worked there for 16 years.
16 years.
Yes. I was involved in training.
Uh-huh.
I was involved in leading the research in medical vectors. And I was also involved in mentoring young scientists in research.
And how did this Kalaza study end?
The Kalaza study, actually, those don't end. You mean
on your part?
In
yes.
Mount Elgon, we control the disease.
Okay.
And we control the disease, first of all, by using the sticky trap to also control the flies and warning the people not to visit the caves. And because the flies were mainly around the caves,
yes.
when you don't visit those caves, you don't
get infected.
You don't get the disease. And so that controlled the disease. But because it was known it is a type of leishmaniasis, people who would then contract it later on would easily go for treatment, and they would get the heat treatment without any problem. Or they could even treat themselves.
At home.
At home.
Yeah, with hot water.
With hot water.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. We appreciate, Prof, the work you did scientifically. And I know there is much more that we can read about. Is there one more maybe you want us just to take note, one more from your scientific work?
Well, the scientific work is that my emphasis, particularly for young scientists,
yes.
I believe that we should not always take for granted that what has been done is the end of it.
We must look again.
Look again.
Yes.
And bring innovation. Don't just rely on what is written as if it is the final story.
No.
And our young scientists must have an inquiring mind
yes.
as to whether what else can be done, how differently can it be done. And then invite also colleagues to think together.
Wow.
And this what is going on, what should be going on also in research areas.
Thank you so much, Prof. Dear viewer, we are now getting into a more exciting part. We want to now look at the work that Prof has done for the church before we go to another level where his work has been significantly seen. Just stay tuned right there. We will be back. Baraton TV, here and hereafter.